Hi, Patrick Townley at ptlarts.com. I paint portraits. I paint, that's a different one than was there a week ago, because I've sold that one. And I sell those things, landscapes. And there's some watercolors hovering about on the top. They're just up there so I can just get a sense of them. So they're on my shop already, most of them. Um, okay, so today as promised, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into my understanding of social media. So I'm just going to go a little bit further into it, um, dig deeper into social media. So, first one I want to talk about is Facebook. How do we use it? Many of us have had bad experiences of using it, but most of us have probably used it at some point or other, haven't we? One of the problems can be that we find ourselves like just spending loads of time on it and not doing anything else. The other one, you might seem trite. The other thing is we might have got into a argument with like somebody in the family or whatever and just refuse to go on there. All sorts of personal issues can come up with Facebook. I mean, it tells me one thing. One thing, yes, there's a point. It can be a bit of a waste of time. But the other thing is how we relate to it, isn't it? So, but as for us as artists, we just have to look at all of the platforms as a tool that we can use. So there's loads of good stuff we can get from Facebook. We can use it as a training ground, really, for like developing and building things. There's loads of training built into Facebook that you can use if you look at the business side, etc., which actually teaches the same principles as all the other platforms. And in fact, because what they want you to be successful, they want you to build up like audiences, they want you to develop. They've got their core values at Facebook, and they're fairly reasonable ones. That we can adopt as artists, not to be completely the same as Facebook, but certainly for me, I have Reveal, Inspire, Connect, and it ties in nicely with the Facebook about building communities and friendship. So it does fit into those core values. I'm not trying to fight against anything. I just want to use like and produce content that's going to resonate with them. So the other really thing that I've used a lot on Facebook and found incredibly is live videos. So like talking into my phone, onto Facebook about my ideas. It's really, really useful because you get feedback, you get people following you, especially if you're doing it live at any point. It goes to the top of the feed, and also it develops your confidence and your confidence in front of the camera, which is going to be crucial as you develop a business online to sell artwork. You need to be comfortable in front of a camera, or you need to be able to be comfortable at producing written content if you want to have somebody else who's doing the camera work for you. But if you can do it, like just doing daily vlogs, talking about where you're at, what you're thinking about, also gives you a means by which you get feedback from family and friends, which you'll be surprised is really a lot more positive than you'd expect. And also, not everybody is dying to see you, so don't worry. It's not like you're going to have thousands of people watching you or anything. That's just doesn't happen. So it's a great place to practice and train yourself. Um, as a publishing artist creating content on a regular basis, as I am now, it's important to manage the time spent looking at content and concentrate on producing it. And also, um, but also looking at content and then you start to look at content. What is it that you like looking at and you don't like looking at? So that helps you produce your content as well. Like very often you become like partly your own avatar, as it were. All of that, again, is just fantastic training to get the minds working for what's going to be ahead of you, ahead of me. On a practical level, we can practice our brand ideas. So we can make profiles, we can make different pages, we can get rid of them. We can check out what things look like, what images work, what images don't, etc., etc. Great platform, all for free. You don't have to. It's the only thing that isn't free, of course, is your time. But whatever your thoughts have been about it, abandon them quickly and just look at it as a great opportunity. So, and you can check how you look or become interested in things that are published. It will be a good indicator. Mostly we don't have time to look at much stuff anyhow. So play around with the pages, start to figure out your biography as well. It's really useful. And in later videos, we will look at finer points of using Facebook for artists. As I delve deeper into it, I just want to share it with you, specifically for artists. Visual artists, any artist really, but visual artists, that's what I am. But I also make music, I write poetry, I do performance. So there's many different aspects to PTL arts. Painting is the one that I'm engaged in, selling them, and there's a money exchange, which makes this different. The rest of them, maybe at some point, but not at the moment. Twitter. So Twitter, I'm fond of Twitter. A lot of people have gone off of that. They think it's not a useful tool anymore. Again, it's about images in front of people. So you paint a picture of Trafalgar Square or Nelson's Column, then send it to hashtag Trafalgar Square, and sure enough, people start to see it. You never know. Somebody might like it. I related to a story that happened to me where I hashtagged the I360 in Brighton and ended up getting the painting sold, and that was directly through Twitter. So but it's not for selling necessarily. It's about just putting your name out there. Again, it's somewhere else where your brand and your name and what you're doing gets heard of. And then we can start to look at like Twitter having the same look as like your Facebook page, so that when people see it, they start to get familiar. Say, oh, I've seen that before. He's around a lot. So like the more you post, the more you do, the better. Up till now, you've been able to like do automatic links with your Twitter posts that would go off to from all sorts of media. In fact, I didn't even realize at some point that my new shop that I've just built was flooding Twitter with going straight from my shop. I linked it to Twitter, but I didn't realize it was going to do it automatically straight away. It's fine, but that stops soon, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of January, you can't do it automatically. You have to do it manually, and there's all sorts of reasons for that around GDPR, etc., I believe. So, in some way, for visual artists to be involved in major platforms is kind of obvious. However, I don't feel trying to sell is the point at this point. It's more about building a presence. I'm still sporadic in some of my posting and learning new detail, and I'm learning new details about how to do that really, really effectively. Instagram is now a very powerful and leading the way. I've used it quite a lot, but again, like many of the platforms, I've been, no, unprofessional is the wrong word. I've just put pictures on there. I've put pictures on there without any sort of focus. which is great because I've got a lot of material on there. So like 200 and, I don't know, 97 posts or something, right back like before when I just started to make some paintings, I started to put them on there. So I've been there for a while, but not with any focus. So now I'm really moving towards being much more organized in like it's really important to look at your bio and look at your handle and look at how it ties into the other platforms. It's like linked obviously with Facebook. Well, I say obviously, it hasn't always been, but it's with Facebook. And then, so like you've got YouTube and Google are linked, and you've got Facebook and Instagram are linked. And then you've got, of course, Twitter is separate. And then you've got LinkedIn, which is separate, which I'm going to talk about in another video, because it's like another really great platform for us. In fact, all of the platforms are great, but the thing to do is investigate them all. If there's one that you haven't liked, just have another look. You could find that it's changed and it's developed and it's offering all sorts of training, again, which is transferable as far as showing your work. It's all about getting pictures in front of people, isn't it? And then, like, as later on, as I become more aware of what I need to do, I'll be sharing that in later videos. Precision ways of hitting those targets. So Pinterest is really great. You can link in with a thing called Tailwind with Instagram. You can post stuff from Instagram into like Pinterest. And the thing is, with a post on Pinterest, you can link your website or whatever you want onto it, so that whoever clicks on it is taken to like your sites, which is great. Again, I wouldn't push on the selling at that point. It's about engagement and building trust. However, at some point you need to pay for that service, so keep an eye on that, how that works and stuff. I'm still using it for free at the moment, so I can really understand how to use the platform before I start to pay for it, because I want to be able to spend, if I'm spending cash, I want to spend it really well. I ran an advert on Instagram, just one of my watercolors, because I've started watercolors, just to see what happens really. So it was like £10 and it was lasted for 6 days. And it was great because, you know, I've painted a load more watercolors since then, because it was really encouraging. It's every now and then to do that on Instagram. I find it really, really useful just to try it. If I'm trying out a new product, it's a great place to see if people would click to it. Of course, with images, we're in a great advantage in one sense, because people look and like. Of course, it's different when we're dealing with like these guys, like the images, the big paintings. There's very much going on which is about like being in front of the painting. So that's why we need to do the engagement, to hopefully get people in front of the painting somehow, you know, physically, or to be able to discuss with them if people haven't made relationships with paintings, you know, that can be involved in our content, encouraging people to go to make relationships with paintings or begin to have one. So there you go. There's a little more detail. I'll go further into each one. I have a video for each one where I'll be nice, completely focused, and offer us everything that I've learned from now until that point. I'm working on it all at present, so I hope to be able to share what I can find as soon as possible. So The other guy to check out on YouTube is Miles Beckler, Mibeckler. Check him out on YouTube. Fantastic guy. There's nothing he doesn't know about it all. So his YouTube videos are really, really useful for more technical detail. I'm learning a lot from him myself. So that's me, ptlarts.com. Have a look at my website. If you like what I'm talking about, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. If you want to add something, if you suggest something about the way I do my hair or the colour of my shirt, please do say. I try to sort of get the colours congruent with my paintings. It says white, blue. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Okay, so thank you very much. Have a great day.